Hi there. Today I'm going to be covering QlikView, a business intelligence reporting tool. The reason I've selected QlikView to start with is because it's a relatively simple tool to integrate, and that's the major selling point for it, the fact that it's simple to integrate and easy to use. Now, before we get into the functionality of QlikView, I'd like to cover what BI or business intelligence is really used for by businesses. Businesses use business intelligence so they can understand just how well they're performing, and understanding that, they can understand how well they're going to perform in the future. To take the example of a manufacturing company, if they understand just how well their individual products are performing, they can understand which products they need to keep, the high performers, and which products they need to phase out, the low performers. Of course, it's a little bit more complex than that, insofar as that they have to understand not just which products are performing well, but which customers are performing well with, which countries and which time periods and so on. It's getting that information that makes business intelligence so important. Because in the past, people used to pull information in Excel spreadsheets to do a bunch of, quite a bit of magical accounting. What makes business intelligence important is that it takes the information that's stored in systems at a transactional level and aggregates it. And that's important because rather than looking at individual orders and summing them up, you need to allow the business intelligence tool to do all that for you, and that saves you valuable time. Now, if we go into some of the examples that we have here, we'll start with the simplest one, the example start page. Now what we have here is essentially all the different files that are stored as demos. These are individual demo files, and each of them is stored in an Excel spreadsheet with attributes such as category, function, available language, and databases used stored against them. So for example, I select the file name films.qvw. This report will actually show me that it's a conceptual file. It falls under the function movies with these available languages and with these databases used. In the same sense, we can turn that around and look at the business categories and see, for example, if these files fall underneath it. This is available information. In the same sense, if we want to see which file uses an SQL server as a data source, it's online sales. Now, let's go to an example that's probably a little bit closer to home. If we look at the real-time load demo for the call center, what this demo is trying to show us is that it pulls information really quickly. This demo is about looking at daily promotional items such as AAA running shoes, halter dresses, casual boots, and the bike helmet. And what's happening here is operators are taking calls to sell these items to customers. If we look at the call center dashboard, we can actually see all the operators, all the customers, the abandoned percentage of calls, and the average wait time. And this tells us, for example, in January 2007, we had, let's see, 3,106 calls with an average wait time of 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, to show you how simple it is to alter these graphical metaphors, I can go here and change this to a thermometer. As you can see, changes. It's very simple to change back again as well. And that, of course, illustrates some of the ease of use with which you can change graphical metaphors, graphs, and charts in QlikView. And now let's do something that's involving a little bit of the information. If we select operator Amanda Honda, we can see individual details for her. We can see her shift information, her call center information, the customer she's dealt with the total sales, percentage of calls, and so on, the products, and the individual orders. And of course, this illustrates where the information is coming from. The individual orders are how the information is stored in the system, and as they're aggregated, it gives you the information that you can work with to get total number of calls for the operators, total number of sales for the customers, so on and so forth. Now if we take a quick look here, as you can see, it's pulling information out of Excel spreadsheets and aggregating it. And that's part of why QlikView is easy to use. If you take a look at the table viewer, you can actually see how all the files are stored. For example, customer information has a customer ID. That customer ID is associated with the customer ID of orders, just as the order ID of orders is associated with the order ID of order details. And that's what creates all the inheritance between these files. And it's that inheritance that's essentially inherited by QlikView itself. If we go to one that's a little bit prettier, we've got the online sales demo. Now this, of course, shows you individual sales for individual customers and the total sales. Here we've got all of our categories, all of our items. So basically what's happening is across US, Canada, Australia, and the rest of these countries, we have a total number of sales of 98 million. If we select an individual customer, we can see that he's purchased only these items for a total amount of $117.96. In the same sense, we can select an individual item and see which users have purchased it. Going to something a little bit more interesting, we can take a look at a subcategory and again see the users that have purchased it and for the total amount that they've purchased it for. Same sense, a dashboard will show us individual bits of information, year-to-date sales, customer percentages, profit margins, and it's this sort of information that's really important for when you want to analyze your business, understanding who your customers are, understanding where they come from, understanding when your sales are made, understanding things like average orders, stuff like that. It helps you understand, for example, if you're in a manufacturing company, what demographics you want to tailor your business towards. And in the same sense, if you're working for a financial institution or for a payment processor, it helps you understand what sort of promotions you need, what sorts of customers you're tailoring those promotions towards, when your campaigns need to be, when they can be most profitable. Understanding that helps you understand who you want your future business to be and helps you understand how you can attain that future business. Now, just to show you the simplicity with which you can create a file, I'm going to create a little chart here. Make it a bar graph, make it be by product category. There's not very many, so I'll make it a really simple one. And against that, we'll put in the sales amount. And as you can see, we've got all the categories with their overall sales amounts. It's crude and it's simple, but the point is to show just how simple it is to create a chart. And as you can see, we can export that to Excel. So any of these files, when you have a graphical metaphor, can be exported to Excel. Again, just quickly, as you can see, we're pulling information out of MS SQL, and we've actually got our SQL queries here selecting the actual tables that we want and the attributes against them. Now, this demonstrates just how simple it is to work with QlikView, and that, of course, is its strength, the fact that it is simple to use, the fact that it's easy to pull information and integrate that information. As a reporting tool and a top-down dashboard for you to analyze your business, it is very good because it allows you to understand why you're profitable and why you're not and what you can do to make yourself be more profitable. However, as an overall tool to help you run your business, it's a little bit less effective. For tools like CRMs, sales and operational planning tools, planners and stuff like that, they really help you recreate the process of your business to be more optimally designed. So for example, it helps you get your stock into the place where it needs to be. With a tool like QlikView, it really helps you report on your business and make better business decisions. But the automation of what needs to be done to optimize your business, that's a totally different type of product, such as the Oracle suite of software, Cognos Planner, things like that. And of course, I will go into more detail on those in a later demo. But for the moment, as you can see, business intelligence is an effective way for you to understand your business, and it can be quite simple to integrate. Thanks a lot, and have a nice day.